What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We here. Welcome back to the cave, man. Today's conversation, we're just gonna get into Mickey Factz. This he just responded to the Nitty. The title of this last call. We're gonna get into it, but before we get into it, I want to clarify some things. And I did a blog. Oh, sorry. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Tell a friend, tell a friend. On the road to 2,000 subscribers. I'm your host Mel. You already know me by now. Yeah, but before we get into this last call diss track by Mickey Factz, I want to talk about some things. T-Top. I think some of the rumors been out that T-Top has been scamming the people. But for those of you who don't know what's going on, T-Top just recently did a no-cut event, and 70% of his battlers did not show up. And but in hindsight, T-Top is saying that it was a successful night. So everybody's wondering why it was a successful night, and the reason why is because I heard from the rumors. Right? We don't jump the gun just yet, guys. From the rumors, they said T-Top, it was a very successful event financially for him because of everything that he had going on besides the battles. Like, they was charging people, I think, $100 to get in. They was charging $200 for VIPs. They was charging extra money to have to smoke weed. They was also selling stuff, on the side. The event was sold out. You know, uh, they also was making money off of the beverages in there, including the drinks, as far as like liquor goes. So T Top probably pretty much wasn't really phased that the event was unsuccessful. So the only people who was left out were the fans because they paid for the pay-per-views. They did those things. So it was so many different avenues where T Top generated income. So it pretty much didn't hurt his pockets, right? But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to elaborate on the fact that it's been rumors that Nitty showed up and Twerk showed up, and they still haven't battled that night. Let's talk about that for a minute, right? Now, if this is true, this response is only based on if these allegations were true, right? If Nitty and New Jersey Twerk showed up to that event and they failed to do a battle, that is the bottom of the bottom as far as like the culture whatever be, right? For battlers to actually show up to the battle and not battle because they felt like they didn't want to battle for whatever reasons. They had walkthrough contracts to go walk through some type of event and get paid. They had other ways of getting money besides rapping, and they chose to not rap while and just enjoy their festivities. And it's crazy to me, right? Like, just go through the thought process of Nitty and Twerk, right? So they get to the battle. Everybody's saying that this is the best. I mean, this is the best time I ever had in my life. So they having fun. Everybody hanging out, buying drinks, talking to the people. They probably got too drunk, and they say, "Yo, I ain't even going up in that battle, bro. I'm not even going to battle. I'm too smacked to battle. I'm having too much fun to battle." Like, I really want to know what transpired between those two gentlemen to not battle. What were they having that much fun at the event to where they shafted the fans, and I'm surprised at Nitty the most because he's more the professional ones. Now Twerk, I could see this happening too, but when it comes to Nitty, I do not see him as one of the ones who would even do such a thing. So it's tough to see. But let's say that did happen. Like, I think you know you guys owe the fans a free event at least. Um, and I just wanted to just touch up on that before I get into this video. Now, let's talk about Nitty versus Mickey Factz. We're gonna get into this video. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna stop it for some commentary. We're not gonna stop it too much because I think is a heavy bar play in this. So we're gonna try to understand everything that they're talking about, and let's see how it turns out. So with that being said, Mickey Factz, it's on you, man. Let's take a listen, guys.
Listening. You saw what I did to Verb, nigga. Get your colognes out, B. You wanna be next? Aight. What's up, bro? You ready, nigga? Smicky. Hey, yo, fuck from Nitty. You short little lame nigga. We go to Malibu to pour out your name, nigga. You stay bitter, sent shots that contain filler. At least it ain't the subway, I'm a train killer. Yo, fake Jordans, let me holler at you. What I do in hip-hop is real and I'm acknowledging.
This ain't the subway and you ain't a train, and I'm a train killer. Okay.
Little lame nigga, we go to Malibu to pour out your name, nigga. You stay bitter.
He got the Malibu, the rum. Okay.
Sent shots that contain filler. At least it ain't the subway, I'm a train killer. Yo, fake Jordans, let me holler at you. What I do in hip-hop is real and I'm acknowledging you. You get a hospital.
What I do in hip-hop is real and I'm acknowledging you. Hip-hop is real, knowledge of God, okay?
You calling me Eric Sermon out of the blue. My EPMD, they needed a doctor for true. And Verb talking.
My EP, Eric Sermon, my EP needed MD. They needed a doctor for true. He's just referring to his last diss track versus True needed medical attention, medical MD. Facts for rapping, guys. He came to rap.
About boxing me too, he need to fight whatever sickness in his body he grew. From about boxing me too, EPMD, they needed a doctor for true. And Verb talking about boxing me too, he need to fight whatever sickness in his body he grew. From whoever spiked your marijuana.
Verb. Let's talk about Verb for a minute. I'm starting to really think that there's something really mentally wrong with Verb for real. Like I gotta agree to that. Verb been acting real unverb-like, right? Unman-like as well. Like just the morals and principles that he stand on is just far from what a grown man would do, you know. But anyway, he do need to fight whatever disease that he got going on. I agree with that.
Needed a doctor for true. And Verb talking about boxing me too, he need to fight whatever sickness in his body he grew. From whoever spiked your marijuana might be an anaconda likely, cause only a snake can sell you some shit. To have your whole paranoia high key, paid $50 to wear some Al Capone and white tees. When I perform
Al Capone cigarellos. No comment. Remember him in the one of the Smack sponsors? You taking shorts to wear t-shirts in battles, man? Factz is rapping right now.
On the 2019 in the Bay, I had to charge California high fees. Too short, 100 clip, 99 cents and 6 in the morning for this version of Arizona's iced tea. Damn.
Oh my God. Hold on. California iced tea. Too short. I know it's some correlation. I just can't put it together right now. Arizona, California, iced tea.
We need phone and white tees. No comment. When I performed in 2019 in the Bay, I had to charge
Bay, in the Bay. That's in Cali.
California high fees.
I had to charge California high fees when I was performing in the Bay. I had to charge California high fees. You too short. From you too short. Too short. You too short. Too short is from the Bay. Okay.
Too short, 100 clip, 99 cents and 6 in the morning for this version of Arizona's iced tea. Damn. We need more law and order, nigga. You fucking midget. Miss Hustle was like your father figure. It's not.
Okay, so he's killing Nitty height right now. So he's on just a tear of just, you know, attacking that man's height.
Not a shot, but the height difference was out of whack. American dad and an alien. Roger that, pussy. It's feminine wash without the monostat. With the penny proud.
Pussy, this feminine wash without the monostat.
But do little like Kyla Pratt. I can't beat him. I bet I do. I ain't worried about Cornell. I taught at NYU. Rap circles round who? Family, please. You wear fake designer. Plus you bedazzle your jeans. Ill. They look uncomfortable, champ. We know that ain't you. This nigga like studs in his pants. You wanna be J too? Wow.
He said this nigga like studs in his pants. He want to be J too.
Damn, Nitty, the tides turn you out of your mind. I'm burying you in sanity. Punchline king, be magic.
The tides turn. I'm burying you in sand, Nitty. Tides, sand, in sand, Nitty, in sand, Nitty.
The man. Nitty, this prince feeling himself till you tied in a van, Nitty. You split 150,000, heard ya. So how you pour steel? You a foundry worker. 75K gone, you a goof. Now you rummaging for 1,500 and nothing, just like the producer group. Respectfully, stay out of a music booth. You record over gay beats. I heard the Fruity Loops. You want a challenge with me? I take you to the roof. Cue the handout, but who died and gave you the juice? You a fluke, and niggas knew the truth. So why are you pursuing Zeus? This gon' be murder before you and Mook. I'ma give you a boost. Take it to Beasley. To incite a round, I'm hip to the motions. That's a hula hoop. I'm just acting up. And by the way, I got no ill will for a nigga who I'm just acting up. And by the way, I got no ill will for a nigga who don't dap me up. No cap, and here's the remedy.
I got no ill will to a nigga who don't dap me up.
It's ironic, 2 hands ain't connecting yet. Still a choke happen. Yo, Captain.
Ill will, 2 hands don't connect, still a choke happen. 2 hands don't connect, still a choke happen. I think Ill Will's been on RBE. I think he choked in that battle, or he had a minor slip up, something like that. But yeah, go on RBE's page. ARP is selling the event for $5, I think, $4.99 or something like that, or $3.99, one of the two. But shoot over to RBE's page, you know, if you guys want to watch all of the battles, you know, support the culture in that way. I think that's one of the best ways to support the culture, opposed from how you call it, bootlegging. You know, at least I don't know what the heck to do in this case. Sorry, I'm just saying, like, a lot of us trying to figure out how to support the culture and we don't know how. And you know, being them, you know, not coming up, showing up to battles and them choking and all these bootlegs going on, it just, you know, deter us from even wasting our money. But anyway, shoot over to ARP's channel, guys. Subscribe to his channel, like, comment, share, you know, purchase the event. He just put out a battle event recently, so yeah. And that's what he's talking about in that battle.
Peace treaty, hit the hidden bar, mix that me up, no cap, and here's the remedy. It's ironic, 2 hands ain't connecting yet. Still a choke happen. Yo, Captain, fuck a peace treaty, pick the hidden bar, mixing Remy with rum, and you better not speak easy. Your flow frail is.
Peep the hidden bar, mixing Remy with rum. You better not speak easy. You know how Remy, how easy the block has to say, yo, rum, we're gonna have to jump this N-word. Mixing Remy with rum. You better not speak
easy to act, and yet still a choke happen. Yo, Captain, fuck a peace treaty, pick the hidden bar, mixing Remy with rum, and you better not speak easy. Your flow frail, it's easy to out Ramadan. Get picked under a Christmas tree, I'm taking no L's. Quick shot at a side piece, keep calm or I'ma drop you after I drop these 2 clean joints. Promote a show for Nitty, do it for 1 month. They ain't waiting online for a little rum punch. I can prepared you a full body.
They ain't waiting online for a little rum punch. A little rum punch. You know how rum is the king of punches at this.
Call the government, this an alien autopsy. Facts.
Hey man, one thing I gotta say about these battles right here, right, between Rum Nitty and Mickey Factz, is that Mickey Factz is gonna be the one that would give Rum a run for his money. I'm pretty sure you if you've been following the culture, you've been hearing people basically saying like, "Oh, Rum went to the next level, and Mickey Factz is on the next level. This level of rapping is different. You got to really come to rap, right?" I wonder why do we say that, right? Why do we say that, but we still praise people who rap lesser than what we're seeing right now? Why do we continue to reward people who don't put too much effort into their pen, right? I mean, teach his own. His music, right, is all opinionated. But when it comes to battling, I just think that it should have one criteria, and that criteria is bars, right? And who's better, But I wonder, like, it amazes me how people are judging this Mickey Factz song, right, and saying this is how you got to rap with Nitty. And I feel like this is how you got to rap all the time, not just Nitty. I don't think that you should be able to take days off because you don't want to invest in your craft. I feel like you should always have the sharpest pen every single time you jot something down and memorize it and display it in front of the people, right? Um, and that's why it's tough for me to judge Jay Mills wins. You know what I mean? Because my criteria in my mind, it just doesn't sit right. Like I just can't get excited about. You can't mess with me since 1 + 1 = 3. I just can't get excited about that stuff, right? Like just it's just what I am, and there's no shade to Mills. I just think that this level of rapping is exactly how we should be battling. That's it, man. And then tune in to Convos in the Cave, man. I'm your host, Mel speaking. Click that like, comment, subscribe button. I am the Cave, man. Salute to you guys. Talk to me in the comments. I'll talk back down there, man. Cave.